I wanted to throw a quick video out there for those of you who maybe you're struggling a little bit getting started with Eclipse. So this video might not be for everybody. If you're up and working in Eclipse, you don't need to focus on this. You don't need to run around on this. So I'm in my base Eclipse environment. You probably don't have anything up here because you probably don't have any projects started. You can always go through and close projects so they can still be there, but they're not going to search inside of them. They're not going to run them. They're just still around later on. And I do suggest that if you're done with something, to at least close it. If not, if you hit delete, it'll take it out of Eclipse, but it won't delete the project unless you click that box. But just to keep your space clean. But these are things I'm in the middle of working on, so I just close them for the moment. So I have the starter zip over here. And so in the starter zip, I have each of these Java files, and I have the PDF here. But I want to get those into an Eclipse project. So the first thing I need to make sure I do is create a new project. So file, new, oops, file, new project. All right, this will open up the big box. There was Java project up above there. Often there's things that are already defined, but you just want a basic Java project. We don't need the existing ant build file that is saying that there's a project that's out there somebody else created, perhaps on another tool that has this tool called ant, which helps compile your stuff. So this can be basic exercises or whatever you want to name it. Most part, everything else can stay the same. There's nothing huge that you need to do inside of there. This is nothing different than you've probably seen in some other videos. You don't need to create a module. We're not creating a module out of this. All right, so once I have the basic exercises, you see there's a source folder, SRC. Now, right now, these are all inside the zip file. So if I try and drag and drop it, you see it gives me the nope, you can't do that symbol. So what I need to do is I need to extract those somewhere. Often all I do is just throw them on the desktop. And then once I throw them on the desktop, then I can slide them over and then delete them from the desktop. You can go off and find the folder where this is created. The way you do that is you right click and you say properties, and you can see Java basic exercises where this is located at. So I could go to Java basic exercises, go underneath the source folder and drag and drop them there as well. But I have the files, on the hard drive somewhere, and so there's an extra file inside of here because it's just a place I put it. But I can go through, I can take these, I can drag and drop them over to source and say copy file. You probably don't want to link to the file because then if you delete it in the original spot, it'll go away. So it's copy file is better for our purposes. And then when I do that, there's a default package now inside of here, and then there's all the files. Now, one thing to remember, this only works directly if there's no package statement up here. If there's no package statement, it goes in what's called the default package. It goes empty right here. And so that is the place we want it to go. So now if I try and run this, you can see that it does run. It ran all the test cases and gets everything out. The great part about Java, if you've ever done some other tools as like C++ or whatnot, you can have as many main programs in Java as you want to. And in Eclipse, you can click on a file and it will run whichever file you're on. So you can see now this one ran the second one. And then my celebrity impersonator, I can double click on that one and I can run this one. And again, it runs the test for that one. Now, starting with these files is going to be your best bet because it gives you all the test cases to get started with. It gives you some structure and some test cases. If you want to start from scratch, it's an option, but you need to make sure you're doing thorough testing. I basically, unless you are going to do some really thorough automated testing, my suggestion is you start with these files because then it makes your life easier because you can see what the grading is going to look like, and it makes our lives easier on the grading side because we just run the file and we know it's running or not. We're less likely to make a mistake in the grading as well. All right, so there's just a quick overview of getting this started for anybody who was struggling with that.